Steve Maraboli said, stop trying to fix yourself. You're not broken. You are perfectly imperfect and powerful beyond measure. Day 26, my dear friends, and we're talking about inner child healing. Now, 80 to 90% people who feel anxiety, worry, depression, low self esteem, or have experienced invalidation, neglect, of some kind in their childhood, maybe even emotional abuse from one parent or the other. I call these invisible traumas. Now, 90% of us have learned to put it behind us, move on, but in reality, we've just buried them in our subconscious mind. Now, how does it occur? How did these traumas happen? Every single time your parent denied what you were feeling, or you felt unseen, unheard, unimportant, neglected, and unloved, or they yelled at you, or they yelled at each other, but you could hear it, right? Or when they placed unrealistic expectations and tried to live their dreams through you. That settled as trauma in us. And then, of course, there's the family lie. It's like a mantra. And I'm sure some of you have, or most of us have heard when we were growing up, oh, you were such a difficult child, or we tried our best, but we didn't know what to do with you, or we hear parents saying, oh, you were such a quiet child. You could just play for yourself for hours, which actually is a sign that a child has become accustomed to parental neglect. And yes, as an adult, it's very painful for us to admit that our own mother or father, unconsciously or consciously, undermined us when we were children. But don't you see that these unhealed traumas play out in adulthood? We as feelings of unworthy of love or success, and this drives us to become either someone who's got a very pleasing behavior, or you become a rescuer for people in need, and you neglect your own needs. Now, how do we even start to heal these traumas? um, that is a big question, but more important, why do we need to heal these traumas? Because they lead to suppression of anger. They attract very unhealthy relationships. You feel like a failure. You feel like you're not good enough. And a feeling that, oh my God, but there is something so wrong with me. Now, if any of these sounds familiar to you, I just want to say one thing which is very important. Something was wrong in your childhood, but it was not you. Most probably, unknowingly, the parents shifted the blame to you. And they didn't mean that, but they didn't know any better. Now, I offer a 3-hour session on my website, Healing the Inner Child, as learned by my mentor, Phyllis Crystal. So reach out to me if you want to work on this. But my immediate tip for you today, write a letter, a loving letter to your inner child. Open a dialogue that can lead to a healing process. Write about childhood memories from an adult perspective, offering insights to the very distressing circumstances you did not understand. Maybe you didn't know why your brother shouted at you always, and you learned to fear him. But now, after having realized that he probably experienced bullying and shame and abuse, his rage might today make sense to you. So start these revelations to your inner child to soothe that lingering pain. Now, a loving letter can also give you a chance to give messages of reassurance and comfort. I'll give you a few tips of what and how these questions can keep the dialogue going. Ask with lots of love to your inner child, how do you feel? How can I support you? What do you need from me? Now, sitting with these questions will often lead to answers. Though it might take, I warn you, some time before your inner child starts to feel safe and secure and agrees to start on this healing process. It's a beautiful process. It's an uplifting, relieving, lightning process. Please reach out to me if you would like to work on this together. Tomorrow, let's talk about how your higher self might want to communicate with you. Stay safe with much love.